गुड इवनिंग, सलाम, आदाब, नमस्कार। एक बार फिर से सब लोगों का स्वागत है। वेलकम टू दिस PLG program. This episode is, as you know, celebrating the legend. Celebrating the legend is one of the most popular program of PLG, as you can see from the Facebook views. Some of its programs have crossed around 4,000 to 5,000 mark viewership. If I say who is the most read author in the history of mankind, I think it will be no brainer. You all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right. Could you hear the music in the between was playing?
No, sir.
I think you didn't hear the music. Hear the music or no hear the music? Can you unmute yourself now? You can unmute yourself now.
No music, sir. Nothing. Only the video.
No music. So shall I replay that?
Please try.
I think it will be worth playing.
Please do try.
Let me see. Now you can hear?
Yes.
Well, that was the music. I had to replay. I'm sorry about that. So, I was talking about the program celebrating the legend. Now, if I say who is the most read author in the history of mankind, I think it will be no brainer. You all will say in unison, William Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Yes. But the catch is in what I am going to ask now. How many of us have read Shakespeare beyond the poems which were in the textbook? And ladies and gentlemen, at least I did not. And I do not want to make enemies by asking to raise hand on a public platform. And that shows the relevance of this program. To tell you the truth, celebrating the legend made me to read Shakespeare a lot. And I really appreciated and enjoyed reading Shakespeare during the last 1 week, which I would have never done if this program was not there. And that's the reason I say that celebrating the legend is closest to my heart among all PLG programs, and this program forces us to read our legends and some of the masterpieces that we might never have read. Do you agree with me? I will not talk about the life and work of Shakespeare. I will leave it that for the anchor. But before I hand over the mic to the anchor, I wish to tell you something very special. PLG is going to celebrate India at 75 in a big way with a whole day program on August 15, 2021. There will be poetry, songs, cultural programs for adults and children. And those who wish to participate may give the names to the for poetry to the respective regional presidents, and for songs or the cultural program, you may give the name to the director of operation or the special event manager. And we are going to add a children program also, and the children may give the name to the director of operation or the children event manager, which we are going to appoint as Daisy G. And entry, as always in PLG, will be first come on first serve basis. You will all know that at PLG we do not discriminate anybody on any ground. New writers and poets are welcomed with open arms as we welcome the season's writer. We consider PLG as a workshop of or the Toastmaster of poetry and literature, and we do not make our program secluded from the newcomers as most of the other organizations do. And that's our USP. And I hope you all like and accept or rather patronize this USP. I think I have spoken my quota of time. Without wasting further time, as Shakespeare says, brevity is the soul of the wit. I will hand over the mic to the anchor of the day, who is none other than the child prodigy, Likhita. Likhita needs no introduction in PLG, but this program will be archived on our website, www.plg.com, and will be watched by thousands of poetry lovers and literature loving people over a long period of time. So I must say a few words about her. Likhita Kavuru, or Likhi Doll as she is popularly known, is a student of class 12 in Indian school Niswa, who has started writing poetry at a young age of 10 and who has turned into such a mature poet that even we envy when we read her poetry. If you read her poem without knowing the age of the author, you will feel that it is written by a very mature or a grown-up poet. She has been published in many magazines such as Uncaged, Reflections, etc., and she has featured in English in a school magazine every year. Her immense talent won her many awards and certificates. There are many more things to tell. She is the cultural head of Indian School Niswa organization, students organization, and I think if I tell about her, I will keep on talking. So better I stop and give the mic to the anchor of the day, who is none other than Likita. Please welcome her with a big round of applause. Over to you, Likita.
Oh my goodness, sir. I'm extremely overstated statements. And if I put my emotion right now into words, it'll be elation, exhalation, euphoria, cloud nine. Are there more words? All of them combined. Thank you so very much, sir. I definitely don't think I'm worth that introduction, but thank you so very much.
Likita, I will stop you for a minute because I made a mistake. A big mistake rather, or a blunder, I would say, that I didn't acknowledge the presence of our chief guest, Dr. Deepa, who is here. Uh, we are really, uh, we are really glad to welcome you, Dr. Deepa, over here. We will come to you after some time, but just two lines of opening word from you before Likita continues with the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Safir, sir. It's a very pleasure for me to be here with this good platform. It is a very great platform. When I heard from Vibhaji that like this platform is there, it's very great thing there we all are doing, and it will help us. That like many children are there who are very fond of writing and all. They can come forward. It's an amazing platform for connecting people to each other. Whoever is interested in writing, and to mean with the today's our legend is Shakespeare. It's a big thing, and we cannot imagine how he has done that time, how much writing he has done, and we cannot say we cannot I have no words for him that about Shakespeare. I want to thank you all to be inviting me here for as a guest. I am not worthy for that. Like Likita has done many things, like you said. I've heard of her also, and so very good, Likita. Keep it up. I can hear you after some more years. I can hear that Likita is somewhere where we cannot imagine where she is. So I can proudly say I know her very well. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm blessed, ma'am. I'm blessed. Thank you very much.
We may have to take appointment before we go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
All right,
Thank
Likita, over to you. Carry on, please. Sorry, I disrupted your flow.
Not a problem, sir. Thank you very much for reminding, actually. Very good evening, PLG. Good evening. Hello. Myself, Likita. And once again, you all are doing me the honor of letting me host this show. A huge, huge thank you to all the loyal, supportive, and positive viewers who stay with us throughout the session. A huge thank you to Dr. Deepika, who has spared her precious time to join us. And thank you so very much to Tufel sir and Simi ma'am. They are the pillars and the foundation for this whole platform. Thank you so very much. And to begin with today's session, before I begin, I would like to tell you something. Every time I present a poem, recite, or anchor, I try to give it a little touch, like something weird, but something different. Plus, we all know Shakespeare has written so many plays, and the characters that he creates for the plays are, I have no words, they're just stunning. And this time, I thought, why not introduce the poets here present among us in reference or comparison to the famous or majestic characters Shakespeare has created for his plays. That is, comparing our poets with Shakespearean characters. Friends, PLG members, and countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to praise and celebrate the poets, not to bury it. May the curtain rise. May the curtain rise. Come one, come all. Let's all gather and have the Shakespearean character praise. So, let's start. The very first poet that we have here is PLG's Julius Caesar. the king, but in this case, the king of poetry. He ate a stab, but he still lives an eternal life in the hearts of poetry lovers. He lives an eternal life in the hearts of poetry lovers with his writings. Kapil sir, please welcome the PLG's Julius Caesar. I'm
Please
really
don't
sad
call
to
me
say
that.
that he's under the wrath of COVID and is admitted in the hospital presently. I'm really praying for his recovery. Huge respect for you and your love for poetry, sir. Please welcome him.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Please, I'm not worth all this praise that you're giving me. I'm just a simple man who loves to do poetry, and I'm happy to be here. Otherwise, I don't really get a chance, because I'm working on the weekends. I'm really glad to be here, and thanks a lot for such kind words. Please go ahead. Thank you.
We're honored to have you here, sir.
Anytime. Pleasure is all mine.
Our next poet is the Othello from the drama Othello. Well, a skilled soldier and a general. Othello is brave, confident, smart, and is known to have a way with his words. That is the main focus. A way with words. Let's applaud and welcome the Othello of PLG, Arif. Arif, please.
Arif, come here. Yes, say hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Likita, is there time for reciting the poem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, start.
I am Arik to fail, and I am going to recite Venus Victorious, a poem by William Shakespeare.
Loud.
This poem is considered William Shakespeare's first publication. It narrates the story in Roman mythology of Venus, the goddess of love, and Adonis. Venus and Adonis contains discourse on nature of love and brilliantly describe on observations of nature. The poem is too long, so I'll only recite part of it. It shall be the cause of war and dire events, and the deceptive dissension twixt the son and sire, subject and servile to all political wills. As dry combustionous matter is set on fire, is to fire. Sit in the prime that doubt my love destroy. They that love best love shall not enjoy. Thank you. Thank you.
If words have a way of winning hearts, you have done exactly that, Arif. Thank you so very much. Moving on to the next poet. Matilda from The Necklace. The play, The Necklace. A person who has beautiful dreams and that who might live up to achieving them. A dream that has bloomed wide and will make sure to keep it fragrant. A responsible and a loving character. Please welcome Matilda of PLG, Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi,
Hello.
please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Uh,
Vaishnavi.
Actually, I give some information from to William Shakespeare. This is William Shakespeare was an English poet and playwright, actor, and dramatist. He is often called the Bard of Avon. His work include 38 plays, 154 sonnets, and 2 long narrative poems. His plays have been translated into major modern languages and performing the world over. Shakespeare's proudest of most of his famous works between 1589 and 1613. His plays were primarily histories, tragedies, and tragicomedies, Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, as You Like It, and The Merchant of Venice are considered to be some of his finest plays. Because this is my first experience of this meeting, so some mistakes, so please pardon me, everyone. Camera front karo.
Ladies and gentlemen, speak. Can you find a better Matilda? I guess not. Thank you so very much, Vaishnavi. Thank you. Our next poet. Our next poet is the very famous Romeo from the play Romeo and Juliet. I don't need to give a brief intro about him, do I? Shanavas, sir, please grace the stage.
Thank you very much, Ritika. I don't know, Romeo, my wife is not around, so I could be a Romeo for anybody else also. So thank you very much. The poem, or rather, I guess the sonnet, which I choose, it's also very similar, depicting the love. And I've been very fortunate actually to be in there where William Shakespeare was born and where he died and buried, plus his London, where he used to organize his plays. So I've been very fortunate at the time when I was living in UK. So some of the quotes, I guess, which I very much like it, and which Shakespeare, of course, could written is, "Life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." So some of these things, we keep on hearing. The sonnet, which I suppose makes sense, as you have given me the Romeo title as well, is the called "In Praise of Beauty." So as if I'm writing for my wife, "In praise of beauty, of all my loves, this is the first and last, that in the autumn of my years has grown. A secret fern, which is like a tree, which is like a leaf. A secret fern, a violet, which is a color. A secret fern, a violet in the grass, a final leaf where all the rest are gone. Would that I could give all and more my life. My word, my thoughts, my arms, my breath. My words, my thoughts, my arms, my breath, my future. My love, eternal, endless, infinite, yet brief, as all loves are hopes, though they endure. You are my sun and stars, my night, my day, my season, summer, winter, my sweet spring, my autumn song, the church in which I pray, my land and ocean, all that the earth can bring, of glory and of sustenance. So this is about, I guess, the means, of live and death. That all might be divine, my Alpha and my Omega, and all that was ever mine. My Alpha and my Omega, that all was ever mine. So thank you very much, Litika. This is, I suppose, in praise of the beauty. I wish I could write something like that, for my wife. Maybe, I guess, in the years to come. Thank you very much.
I boweth to thy most wondrous art, sir, to the most amazing talent of recital in Shakespearean. Our next poet, I beckon. Friends and members, I bring forth the very Ariel of the drama Tempest. Although Ariel is not human, he possesses many human characteristics such as compassion, loyalty, the power to capture hearts, and the power of speech. He has got people by the tip of his finger. And we have got an Ariel in PLG as well. Satish sir. Please welcome Satish sir, the Ariel of PLG. Sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you for a beautiful introduction, Likita.
Thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to be paying tribute to William Shakespeare. And what can you say about William Shakespeare? Who does not know William Shakespeare? If you don't know William Shakespeare, you don't know anything about literature. I'll just come straight to my
Well said. Well said. In one line, you have defined Satish ji.
Thank you, Tafil bhai. I'll get straight to my poem, Think of Love. If I should think of love, if I should think of love, I would think of you. If I should think of love, I should think of you. Your arms uplifted, tying your hair in plaits above, tying your hairs in plaits above. The leer shape of your arms and shoulders, the soft curve of your winding head, the soft curve of your winding head. If I should think of love, I would think of you. Nobody is sweeter, nor could Orpheus. Nobody is sweeter, nor could Orpheus so have bewitched. I think of this, and all my universe becomes perfection. So have bewitched. I think of this, and all my universe becomes perfection. If I should think of love, I would think of you. But were you in my arms? But were you in my arms, dear love? The happiness would take my breath away. The happiness would take my breath away. No thought could match that ecstasy. No thought could match that ecstasy. No song encompass it. No other words. No song encompass it. No other words. If I should think of you, I would think of you. If I should think of love, I should think of you. If I should think of love, I should think of you. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Every word you spoke, sir. Every word.
Thank you.
Absolutely stunning. The next poet, Prospero. I'm sure you've heard of him. Prospero is the protagonist, the main character in the story, The Tempest. It's a play. At times, he was a chaste ruler, a person who's got his grip upon his people. Exactly how Munawar-ji held his grip over the knack of poetry. Please welcome the Prospero of PLG, Munawar sir. Sir, please.
Thank you very much.
Great way of introduction, Likita. Taking the characters of
Thank you, sir.
Shakespeare and then resembling with the people over here. That's
Yes,
great.
sir.
You have done a lot of homework and a jigsaw. You have solved the jigsaw.
Thank you, sir.
Likita.
Every poet here is associated to some or the other character in Shakespeare. Well,
Thank
Nikita,
you.
you are doing a wonderful. job.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very
the
much.
part
Thank
the
you.
way you are inviting people
Smart
here
and,
on the stage. Yeah, Tufan bhai, please continue.
मैं आपको describe कर रहा हूँ. It is a smart way of introduction, and innovative thinking.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the way she is calling the poets on the stage really indicates that she has done lots of homework and lots of preparation. That indicates her hard work and passion for the poetry, particularly the very beloved poet Shakespeare throughout the world.
All the poets of PLG deserve all the love of the world, sir. Thank you so very much.
So welcome. So directly I will come to the poem written by Shakespeare, that is Sonnet 104. To me, fair friend, you never can be old. So all my friends, this poem from Shakespeare, but I do dedicate to you all. So, my friends, you never can be old. To me, fair friends, you never can be old. For as you were when first your eye laid, such seems your beauty still. 3 winters cold. Have from the forest shook 3 summers pride, 3 beauteous springs to yellow autumn turned. In process of the season have I seen 3 April perfumes and 3 hot Junes burned. Since first I saw you fresh, which yet are green. Ah, yet doth beauty like a dial hand steal from his figure, and no peace perceived. So your sweet hue, which methinks still doth stand, hath motion, and mine eye may be deceived, for fear of which here this thou age unburred. Are you where born was beauty's summer bed? Thank you very much.
Your recital shooketh me, Your Highness. But before we move on, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, our dignitary present here, Dr. Deepa, won't be able to join us till the very end of the session due to pre-planned engagements. Before she leaves, Dr. Deepa, a few words, please.
Yes, so nice. I was hearing each one of you, so nice. And Likita, I should say about you, you are not to be here, somewhere else. I must say.
It's all your support, ma'am. Thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah, he was
Be somewhere, some big place.
Yes, some big place you will be. I bless you for that. You will be somewhere else. And all of you, those who have said, those who I can hear, all of you, I am very obliged to hear all of you. Very nice poems you all are writing, and not that much to say about you all. And about Shakespeare means no words. And if it was a Hindi and all, we can say more about it also. And I'm very sorry that I have to go. I am having pre-appointment with the doctor, so I have to leave after some time only. After 5 or 10 minutes, I will leave from here. So sorry for that. I will, if I can come back again before time, I will join you. And otherwise, I will see all this through the Facebook, wherever it is being recorded. Facebook, I will see, and I will see that I can join. I will think that I can join you back. So thank you all for Vibhaji again. Thank you for inviting me here. And I think that I can hear you also by the time when I leave, if you are saying something. So thank you all. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for gracing the event. Thank you so very much for being here, sparing your time. Thank you so very much. Before I move on, I would like to let you all know that we are in the very middle of the session. The next poet is the Shakespeare himself. You all might have already guessed. He created all the characters. He is the father. He is the ruler. He is everything. The one and only Shakespeare of PLG. Tufel sir. Tufel sir, please.
Oh, that's a great one. Shakespeare is like a mountain, and I am like, I am like a dust on the foothill of the mountain. So nowhere comparison. But thank you so much, Likita, for that honor, that great honor. Well, you are doing the excellent anchoring of today's program. There's no doubt about it. And the way you have created the aura by connecting the characters of the Shakespeare with people over here, the poets over here. That's a fantastic, innovative idea.
Thank you,
it has taken this program by storm. You have taken this program by storm. I can say that. The sonnet which I have selected, a poem of Shakespeare, and in fact it has been recommended by Likita only. So thank you, Likita, for that. It's a sonnet 55. is all about the endurance of love preserved within the words of the sonnet itself. It will outlive material things such as grand places, royal buildings, and fine sculptured stone. It will outlive war and time itself, even to the judgment day. This is because the poem will always be a living record. The memory of love will stay alive within the sonnet, come what may. The effect of time, the destructive forces of war, account for nothing. The idea of love, memory, and a spirit being alive in the written word is ancient and goes back to very old age. Now, in this sonnet, in the first quatrain, Shakespeare states that unlike fine stone and monuments that are subject to distasteful time, the sonnet itself will be love's timeless vehicle. The second quatrain introduces the idea that war and destruction could not destroy the memories of love that live on. The third quatrain continues the theme of everlasting love on into the future until the world ends. The couplet underlines the previous sentiments. You will rise again on the judgment day, but for now you live in these words. So the sonnet goes like this. Sonnet 55. Not marble, nor the gilded monuments, by William Shakespeare. Not marble, nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme. But you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone besmeared with sluggish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out of the work of masonry, nor Mars his swords, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. Giant death and all oblivious enmity, shall you pace forth, your praise shall still find room, even in the eyes of all posterity, that view this world out to the ending doom. So that till the judgment that yourself rise, you live in this and dwell in lovers' heart. So that was the sonnet. Now the first line was, nor marble nor the gilded monuments. The sonnet starts with a negative. Introducing means not. Introducing the reader to think about what is not important in life. Not marble, nor the gilded monuments. So think about what is not important in life, which is fine stone and crafted stone work. The second line, of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme. So the stone work is royal, or at least belongs to a young royal. Is this a clue as to who is the sonnet for author Yan, but not a prince? Or is this a generic royal stone? Either way, this material doesn't go to outlive the power of poetry. The third line, but you shall shine more bright in these contexts. The third line helps the reader put things in perspective because now there is a person or figure involved. You shall shine in the contents of the poem, which will endure. The fourth line, then unswept stone besmeared with sluggish time. Time is here given a physical quality. Unusually, and the word sluggish is associated with the word of dubious morals. The suggestion is that the material things eventually become dirty and degraded, but this will not happen to a person. The next line, when wasteful war shall statues overturn. This is the start of the second quatrain. So it takes the reader to the war zone with an immediate full or illustrative opening image. The icons are falling and the next line says, and broils root out the work of masonry. So the war against property continues. Broil means chaos and commotion, but also battles. And root out is to get to the bottom or dig it up or destroy the wall, the masonry, the walls. So more violence is expressed here, aimed at the stonework again, never humility. No mars his sword, nor works, quick fire shall burn. The god Mars enters the scene, the classic Roman god of war. A parallel without any negative note, nor places emphasis on what the sword and the quick fire can do. The next line, the living record of your memory, no matter the violence of future war and the military strife, what will prevail is the positive about you, so alive in the memory. Against death and all oblivious enmity, praise continued in the third quatrain, which starts here. And Shakespeare clearly declares that even death and ignorant hostility won't stand in the lover's way. Shall you pace forth, your praise shall still find room. Onwards and upwards is the life message. There will always be a space enough for respect and gratitude. One of the strongest assertive lines this is. Looking for the future with great positivity. Even in the eyes of all posterity. Here, the line overflows with the compliments and predictions. Future generation will look on you with admiration. That view this world out to the ending doom. That's the next line. So there will be no mistaken or sentiments here. Generations may eventually bring the world to a very halt, yet still the love, respect, and praise will remain. The idea of doom is biblical in origin, as the judgment day, which appears later in the sonnet. So, till the judgment that yourself arise, and here Shakespeare, in order to conclude, says, until the day of the judgment, you will be alive in the poem. You live in this and dwell in lovers' eyes. The object of the speaker's admiration, be it the fair youth, the young lord, the lovely boy, Venus. Love itself lives in the sonnet itself, as well as in the eyes of your love. So that was little explanation, and I must thank Google for helping me to find this explanation, this meaning, and let me thank to PLG, to all of you who have helped us, who have helped to make this PLG platform that brings such a program, such an opportunity to learn. And if I tell that, I would never have read the explanation of this sonnet had this program not happened. It won't be wrong. Probably I wouldn't have ever. I haven't read till now. So I read today for this program. And that's the beauty of this program, that helps us to understand the masterpieces. And it helps us in another way, that we get an idea that how our masters write, and that will help us also to hone our skills. Likita, since you have given the mic, I won't leave so easily, so I will run a video before I give mic back to you. So let's
Definitely, sir.
see the what we call is Madhyantar video, and here we go. You can hear the voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can hear.
Over to you, Likita.
PLG will remain forever grateful for all you've done, sir. Thank you so very much, sir, Tufel, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on, slowly approaching the winter's tale. The next poet is the character of Perdita. Humble? Yes. Sweet? Yes. Down to earth? Definitely yes. Please welcome the Perdita of PLG, Jayati.
Wow, Likita, wow, so nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Likita. I can't possibly thank you enough for this. Me and Perdita There's no comparison. And
You deserve
may
it
I
all.
dare, no, may I dare to compare you to Portia?
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yes.
Too bad I've already compared
Great,
Portia to another member,
great,
a much
PLG.
more worthier member in PLG. I don't think I deserve Portia. We have another member who fits for the title of Portia.
Well, it's an ode to Shakespeare for creating characters that can fit maybe hundreds of people on this earth.
Definitely.
Definitely, definitely.
So it's all over again, just a small tribute to Shakespeare. Here for this program, it's a humble ode to Shakespeare. And addressing Shakespeare today, thanketh thee for existing on this earth. When we contemplate our literary and creative education, it is seemingly impossible to imagine the exclusion of William Shakespeare, the Bard of Avon. He provided emotions, voices, poetry, sonnets, whatnot. So, here is a humble tribute in rhyme to the Bard of Avon, to the legendary wordsmith, and to the unrivaled poet of sonnets. It goes thus. With thoughts unleashing at his quill, with thoughts unleashing at his quill, the master wordsmith's time stands still. Unrivaled playwright at large today, his resonating words we say. Unraveled sonnets still confuse. Was Shakespeare's plan laid to amuse? We soak up ambience in pleasured awe. World's theatres are unleashing more. Many a court is shared in truth, his poetry educating youth. Not of an age, but for all time. Not of an age, but for all time. His destiny of verse and rhyme. And as we stroll his streets today, and as we stroll his streets today, adjacent Avon's whispering way. Variety in mood and jest, his early works remain the best. He wore his heart upon his sleeve, this noted thespian's dynamic way. And as we stroll his streets today, adjacent Avon's whispering way, tourists flock to walk the ground where Shakespeare's inspirations found. Sipping coffee in his space, sipping coffee in his space, a captivating, thoughtful place. A captivating, thoughtful place. No amount of ponder will captivate his word. No amount of ponder will captivate his word. The bard provides emotion. The bard provides emotion and a voice forever heard. And a voice forever heard. Here, the emotions, the thoughts belong to this little person you are seeing on the screen today, but the words are actually belonging to Anita Williams. The words are not mine, but yes,
Beautiful,
it's
beautiful.
an ode befitting as much as it possibly could. And here goes a piece of poetry, a masterpiece that would prove to the world what Shakespeare did quite ahead of his time. Sonnet 18.
Sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Shall I compare you to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate, more temperate. You are more beautiful and just right in every way. Rough wind do shake the darling buds of May. Pretty spring flowers are gone by winter, and summer's lease hath all too short a date, and summer is over too soon. Sometime Too hot, the eyes of heaven shines. Eyes of heaven, sun. The sun make it too hot, and often is his golden complexion dimmed, and it is often cloudy, and every fair from fair sometimes decline, and everything that starts off beautiful gets less beautiful eventually. By chance or nature's changing course, untrimmed because of event or passage of him. But the eternal summer shall not fade. This is lovely line. Standard line 9 is the best line of this sonnet. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. But your youth is never be going to fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou wast, or diminish in the beauty. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, and you are never going to die. I don't let you to die. When in eternal lines to lie thou growest, I have immortalized you in this sonnet, in my few lines. I have immortalized you in this line. So long as man can breathe or I can see, so long lives is there this, and this give life to thee. As long as people live and can read, the sonnet will survive, and you will live in this sonnet for eternity. For eternity. The sonnet will survive, and you will live on this sonnet for eternity. So long live this, and this give life to thee. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So nice, so nice.
Actually, if all the members have seen the PLG list for registration, you only notice Jayati's name registered. When Jayati herself is an amazing poet, we've got a bonus here. I believe, my lady, I believe you've brought the very famous Hermione with you. Hermione, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, but if
Hermione
you all are
Granger.
wondering, very sure, yes, Hermione. If you all are wondering what Hermione is, Hermione and Perdita are the very famous mother and daughter duo from the Wintertale drama. They are
Thank
known
you,
for the
Nikita.
bond. They are known for the bond. Perdita and Hermione, the best duo. I think they fit in that role very well. Thank you so very much. Thank you. I wasn't
God
really
bless you,
expecting
Nikita.
Ranji
God
there.
bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. I obliged to move on. Have you all ever wondered what was the most humblest character in all of the characters created by Shakespeare? She was Isabella. Isabella, the most virtuous character in all of the plays ever written. At least that's what the record says so. Isabella, she never presumes upon anything but the goodness in people. She trusts those with her authority but stands up against tyranny. We have an Isabella among us. Anupama ji, please grace the stage. Anupama ji,
Ah,
please.
great. The naming conventions you are using, amazing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Likita, thank you so much for such a wonderful welcome, and the comparison was really.
Thank you, ma'am.
Namaste. I hope I'm audible. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, you're very audible.
Yes. My name is Anupama Kadwat. I'm from Mumbai, India. First of all, I would like to thank the PLG admin for providing such a wonderful platform and giving an opportunity to be a part of this journey. PLG is like an institution full of such talented people, and all the events are so meticulously organized that they flow like clockwork. Hats off to each and every admin member. Today, Today it is my privilege to narrate one of William Shakespeare's poems. William Shakespeare has written many famous plays, poems, sonnets. I have chosen the poem Winter as my entire family is very fascinated by owl. So here's Winter. When icicles hang by the wall, when icicles hang by the wall, and Dick the shepherd blows his nail, and Dick the shepherd blows his nails, and Tom bears logs into the hall, and Tom bears logs into the hall, and milk comes frozen home in pail, and milk comes frozen home in pail, when blood is nipped and ways be foul, when blood is nipped and ways be foul, then nightly sings the staring owl. Then nightly sings the staring owl. To who, to wit, to who, to who, to wit, to who, a merry note, while greasy John doth keel the pot, while greasy John doth keel the pot, when all aloud the wind doth blow, when all aloud the wind doth blow, and coughing drowns the parson's saw, and coughing drowns the parson's saw, and birds sit brooding in the snow, and birds sit brooding in the snow, and Marian's nose looks red and raw, and Marian's nose looks red and raw, when roasted crabs hiss in the bowl, when roasted crabs hiss in the bowl, then nightly sings the staring owl, then nightly sings the staring owl. To who, to wit, to who, to who, to wit, to who, a merry note, while greasy Joan doth keel the pot, while greasy Joan doth keel the pot. Thank you.
Very nice.
One
Very
of his
nice.
best
Well
works.
recited. Well recited.
Thank you.
One of his best works. You've kept your stamp as an apt Isabella, ma'am. My mistress. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next poet has come all the way from the Merchant of Venice drama. I'm sure you've heard of the drama Merchant of Venice. And like Jayati has mentioned, this member plays the character of Portia. Portia. Her beauty is matched only by her intelligence. Please welcome our very own gorgeous Portia. And I've heard she made it all the way from Venice. A long ride down there, isn't it? Please make way for my lady, Arunima, the Portia of PLG. Arunima, please.
Thank you so much, Likita. I don't deserve this title though, because each and every title that you're giving away to people, you have most of the qualities of them.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
So please. So basically, I'm so sorry firstly because my video cannot be turned on due to some network issues over here, because I'm currently in my hometown. So without the video, I'll have to continue. So since I'm a lover of psychology and I indeed read a lot about psychology. So why not go for Shakespeare's psychological poem as well? So one of the sonnets that I have noticed was very deep and had a very psychological twist in it was the sonnet 19, Devouring Time, Blunt the Lion's Paw. It talks about the time, how it bounds a person and what all deeds he does goes wrong. So I would love to recite the one. So this is how it goes. Devouring time, blunt the lion's paw, and make the earth devour her own sweet brood. Pluck the keen teeth from the fierce tiger's jaws, and burn the long-lived phoenix in her blood. Make glad and sorry seasons as thou fleets, and do whate'er thou wilt, swift-footed time. To the wide world and all her fading sweets. But I forward thee one more heinous crime. Oh, carve not with thy hours my love's fair brow, nor draw no lines there with thine antique pen. Him in thy course untainted do allow, for beauty's pattern to succeeding men. Yet do thy worst, old time, despite thy wrong, my love shall in my verse ever live young. Thank you.
If I have to praise in the fancy Shakespearean, my love, thou art the moonlight draped in silks. Thank you so very much. Moving on. Our next poet, I would like to compare her to the none other than Titania. Titania of the Midsummer Night's Dream, a woman of strong words and the queen of fairies. She is known as one. If you all know who our Titania is, you'll see why she's being compared to her. Please welcome Shrivani. Shrivani, please.
Thank you so much, Nikita.
स्वागत है, warm welcome.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
In fact,
शिवानी का मंच पर स्वागत है PLG की तरफ से.
yeah, definitely. And
बहुत खुश है आज.
Deepika has created such an aura with this, these characters that I am, I am waiting for the next one. That what unfolds next.
Very true, very true.
The best ones are yet to come, sir.
I can understand.
Thank you so much.
I like the comparison, Titania, and when she will read the drama who was Oberon and who was Titania, she will come to know to whom you compared now. I think she has not studied till now.
Well, that's
Thank you so much. Namaskar. I am honored to be on this prestigious platform of PLG Poetry Meet, organized in honor of William Shakespeare. Today, I want to recite a very famous poem, Seven Ages of Man, from his play As You Like It. Now, why I chose this poem. So, there's this dialogue. Babu Moshaye, hum sab rangmanch ki katputliyan hain. This line from the movie Anand, it was taken from this very poem. So now I will recite a Hindi translation of this poem.
Oh, that's very innovative, Shrivani.
That's very innovative. Very good, very good.
Thank you.
Superb, superb. God bless you.
सारी दुनिया है रंगमंच, हर नर नारी है कलाकार, सब नियत समय पर आते हैं और नियत समय पर जाते हैं, एक जीवन में ही एक मनुज के कई रूप दर्शाते हैं. हर धन्यवाद. हर पात 7 रूप धरते, सबसे पहला नवजात हुआ, दाई माँ के हाथ में ही कुछ एक वमन, कमजोर रुदन, और फिर कांधे पर बस्ता और बेमन विद्यार्थी रूप धरे, और चमकीली सी सुबहों में शंबूक सरीखे रेंग चले, फिर प्रेमी का रूप धरे, उसकी चाहत बस धधक उठे, खो गया प्रेम, फिर विरह गीत उसके ख्याल, चीता सा फिर संकल्प लिए, उभरा योद्धा तब शक्तिमान, उत्साह और अभिमान भरा, रण में जाने को उद्यत सा, तोपों के मुंह में जा बैठे, अभिमान बुलबुले सा लेकर, फिर न्यायाधीश वो बनता है उधर और थोड़ा भरकम, दाढ़ी थोड़ी गंभीर और आंखें भी सयानी सी, बुद्धि अनुभव से भरी हुई, कुछ नया ज्ञान और नई बात, ऐसे ही रूप धरे बदले अब
छठे चरण की ओर बढ़े। घर में बैठा, घर की चप्पल, एक थका हुआ सा वो स्वरूप, नाकों पर चश्मा और चढ़ा और मांसपेशियां ढीली सी, अब मोजे पतलूने ढीली, दबती मर्दाना आवाजें, अब मुखर बालपन फिर आया, बिन दांतों के वो अर्ध शब्द, वो धूम्रपान की पाइप से, अब मुखर बालपन फिर आया, बिन दांतों के वो अर्ध शब्द, वो धूम्रपान की पाइप से, खोती सारी स्मृतियां बातें, अब अंत है सुखमयी यादों का, दूजा बचपन फिर पर अधीन, अब दांत रोशनी आंखों की, फिर स्वाद गया सब कुछ खोया। धन्यवाद।
Proud of you, Shrivani.
Lovely, Rita, lovely.
Thank you
We'll
so much.
expect you every program, Shrivani. At least legit program.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. You have translated the whole English into Hindi.
Right.
I would want to thank my mother for helping me, and she came up with this idea ki we will translate, and she helped with the translation also.
I'd like to say something if it's not an interruption.
Yes, please.
Likita.
Shrivani, the name itself actually means divine speech. Indeed.
Indeed.
Remarkable, Shrivani. Just a small interruption. I don't know whether this is okay, but Shrivani and me have known each other. We have been classmates for 6 years now.
Oh, wow.
And this, in 6 years, I can't possibly explain how happy I am to be with her on the same stage today.
God bless. God bless.
And
I was
praying for this friendship to last longer.
God bless. Yes, okay.
And a little birdie just passed me some information that our Titania, Shrivani, sings like a dream. She has a beautiful voice. And this little girl has a very good friend in her. And now you might know who this little birdie is. Right, Jayati? Well, PLG has the best picks, doesn't it? Thank you so very much, Shrivani. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jayati.
Before moving on, I'll read a few lines. Talk to me. I'll keep listening to you. Listen to me. I'll keep talking to you. Aren't these words wonderful? And before the session started, we've also been talking about the mighty Julius Caesar. The Julius Caesar has returned. Kapil Nair, sir, our PLG Caesar, a strong and brave soul who, even after falling, will rise and keep rising. Please welcome Kapil, sir. Sir, please.
बहुत शुक्रिया आप सभी
welcome,
को। सॉरी मैं पहले नंबर पे आ गया था, मैं बस सुनना चाहता था, सीखना चाहता था, समझना चाहता था कि शेक्सपियर बाबू हैं कौन। हुआ यूं था कि बचपन में सुना था शेक्सपियर भैया के बारे में। हम थे हिंदी मीडियम के पुरानी, वो लिखते थे अंग्रेजी में दाई दाऊ पता नहीं क्या क्या, हमें कुछ समझ में ना आया।
Good one, good start, Kapil bhai. Good start.
हमने किताबें वगैरह कभी उनकी उठाई लाइब्रेरी से इशू करके 1-1 रुपए में, तो उसे वापस कर दिया, फिर बाद में समझ में आया कुछ, फिर उसकी हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन वाली उठाई, वो भी समझ में ना आए, तो हमने तुफेल भाई को कहा भाई हमें समझ में तो कुछ आ नहीं रहा, आप ही समझा दीजिए कुछ ना कुछ। तो भैया हमें कुछ समझाया ऐसा इन्होंने कि इन्होंने हमें दे दिया अंग्रेजी में दाऊदाई, तो हमने कहा चलो ठीक है अभी हम कुछ करते हैं। तो हमने भी इसके हिंदी अनुवाद करने की कोशिश करी है, लेकिन ज्यादा नहीं कर पाए, तो माफ कीजिएगा। अभी जो हमें मिला है हम उसे पढ़ने की कोशिश करेंगे और अपनी तरफ से समझ के पढ़ने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। So what I am going to recite today is the sonnet number 1 from Fairest Creatures We Desire Increase. What we are talking about here is the fairest creature. Now fairest does not really mean fair skin color. It means the people who are fair in nature to all. The fair people should increase. That means they should procreate. That means they should have children. So that's what we desire from them. So this is one of the first sonnets of the 17 sonnet series. And it is very important, and it brings the start to a beautiful journey that Shakespeare started. In the first quatrain of the sonnet, the speaker praises the beauty of his beloved and expresses his desire for his beloved to procreate. From the fairest creature, we desire increase, that thereby beauty rose might never die. तो पहली दो लाइनों का अर्थ रहेगा कि जो सही लोग हैं उनसे हम इच्छा करते हैं कि वो आगे इस वंश को बढ़ाएं, क्योंकि नहीं तो उनकी खूबसूरती का फूल कभी नहीं मरेगा और शायद मर जाएगा. But as the riper should by time disease, riper मतलब जो पुरुष होते हैं, अगर वो टाइम के साथ मर जाएं, his tender hair might bear his memory. अगर वो एक बच्चा कहते हैं तो उनका बच्चा आगे उसकी मेमोरी को लेकर जा सकता है. In the second quatrain, he scolds the young man for being too self-involved to consider procreation. कहते हैं भाई आप तो दुनिया में खुद ही बिजी हैं, आप क्या करेंगे, जो कि आज की दुनिया में हो रहा है. दुनिया किसी की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं लेना चाहती, बच्चे तो छोड़िए लोग शादी तक नहीं कर रहे हैं, कहते हैं लिव इन में रह लेंगे भैया, किसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लें, डिवोर्स हो जाते हैं, सब कुछ बर्बाद हो जाता है, छोड़िए ना. तो इसी तरह से कई देशों में आप देखेंगे पॉपुलेशन कम होती जा रही है, हमारे भारतवर्ष को छोड़ के, क्योंकि यहाँ पे तो हम बच्चा पैदा करना अपना कर्तव्य समझते हैं. मेरी आवाज आ रही है सबको?
You're very audible, sir. Please go on.
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. So in second quatrain, he scolds a young man for being too self-involved to consider procreation. He says, "But thou, contracted to thine own bright eyes, feedest the thy light's flame with self-substantial fuel, making a famine where abundance lies, thyself thy foe, to thy sweet self too cruel." आप इसका मतलब समझ चुके होंगे तो अच्छी बात है, मेरे को नहीं समझ में आया, मैं आगे बढ़ता हूँ. मेरे को जिस बता दिया मैंने आपको, मेरे को क्या दिखा कि भाई वो उसको बताता है कि अपने अंदर में खुद बिजी मत रहिए, बच्चे पैदा कीजिए, वंश को आगे बढ़ाइए. अब तीसरे क्वाट्रेन में आते हैं, उसमें वो बोलता है, while in the third he wants the beloved that the beauty will fade. वो इसके ऊपर एक गाना भी बना है, अगर आपने ध्यान से हिंदी में सुना हो तो बताइए कौन सा गाना है वो, आपको टेस्ट करते हैं थोड़ा सा. दर्पण तुम्हें जब सताने लगे, जवानी भी पीछा छुड़ाने लगे, तब तुम मेरे पास आना प्रिय, ये दीपक जला है जला ही रहेगा तुम्हारे लिए, कोई जब तुम्हारा हृदय तोड़ दे, तड़पता हुआ जब तुम्हें छोड़ दे. So again, while in the third he wants the beloved, his beauty will fade. Thou that art now the world's fresh ornament. आपकी खूबसूरती दुनिया के ताजे जेवर की तरह है. An only herald to the gaudy spring. एक बुरे सावन की खबर सी आ रही है. Within thine own bird, various thy content. अपने ही संग्रह की कली को दफन ना कीजिए. And tender churl marks waste in nigaring. इस बर्बरता और कंजूसी से इसे बर्बाद ना कीजिए. Shakespeare ends the sonnet with the couplet in which he says to his beloved not to deprive the world of its beauty. He says, "Pity the world or else this glutton be, to eat the world's due by the grave and thee. Pity the world or else this glutton be." to eat the world's dew by grave and thee. Sonnet 1 is important as it sets the tone for the entire collection and also the first mini sequence of 17 poems which are referred to as procreation sonnets, as they each urge the young man to bear children. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप सभी का सुनने के लिए.
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया.
We are stunned at your love for poetry, sir. Thank you so very
I
much.
just love to learn and thank you लिखिता, thank you तुफैल भाई मेरी मदद करने के लिए इस टाइम पे.
ऐसा लग रहा है सर कि आप तो शेक्सपियर ही हैं. आपने 2 भाषाओं में अनुवाद
Definitely,
नए
definitely.
मैंने पहली बार सुना है और पहली बार पढ़ा है, वो भी 1 घंटे पहले. और मैं सॉरी चाहूंगा, मैं झूठ बोला था कि मैं सबको सुनना चाहता था. मैंने ये पढ़ा नहीं था, मैं पढ़ के समझना चाहता था. मैंने इसके लिए टाइम ले लिया था बीच में थोड़ा सा. मैंने सुना भी है, ऑफ कोर्स सबको सुना है, लेकिन बीच बीच में 5-5 मिनट की ब्रेक लेके मैंने इसको पढ़ा भी और समझा भी है और सीखा भी है.
वही उद्देश्य है कपिल भाई इस प्रोग्राम का कि हम जो लेजेंड्स हैं उनको समझें, उनको पढ़ें, और जब उनको समझेंगे और पढ़ेंगे तो हमारी जो लेखनी है उसमें भी सुधार आएगा, उसमें भी उत्कृष्टता आएगी. और we all pray for your early recovery and we all salute for your that you
I will recover sooner than we know, sir.
Definitely.
Inshallah, Amin.
Yes, Amin.
बहुत
मैं सोच रही हूँ इतना सारा चार्जर क्यों लगाया है मोबाइल का पीछे में.
अरे करना पड़ता है. देखिए जितने सारे गैजेट लेके घूमता हूँ मैं दुनिया भर के. अभी तो 2-3 नहीं है मेरे पास में यहाँ पे.
नहीं वो सब हटा दीजिए, जल्दी से ठीक होके आइए. और वो आपका कौन सा आता है, जोमेटो जो नोटो, हम लोग सुनने के लिए प्रतीक्षा कर हैं. जल्दी से आइए और एक्टिव होइए सर.
मैं एक्चुअली मैं वहाँ पे एक्टिव हूँ, वहाँ पे आप में से कोई नहीं है. मैं आजकल भी वहाँ पे वीडियो डाल रहा हूँ रोज एक.
ठीक है सर, चलो ओवर टू यू लिखिता.
Over to Likhita.
We can never find another strong-willed Caesar among us. Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you for being here. Moving on to the next poet. We have, among us, we have King Duncan himself from the Macbeth. He is the model of a virtuous, benevolent, and a far-sighted ruler. If at all the kingdom of poetry is to be ruled, he will be the one that might remain in the hearts forever and forever. The one and only king here from Macbeth is Hatim, sir. Hatim, please. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, sir.
Just a second. Yes, good evening, everyone. First of all, thanks to the host, Miss Likhita. The comparison is far beyond me, but I'm still very honored anyhow. Today I'm going to be reciting Shakespeare's 141st sonnet. Why this sonnet? It's because it's part of the infamous Dark Lady sonnets. So you all know this already. I don't need to elaborate for you, but Shakespeare's sonnets are divided into parts. There's the fair youth sonnets. Those are addressed to an exquisite young gentleman whom Shakespeare shares a loving and deep bond of friendship with, or maybe some other feeling, who knows. But while those sonnets and other sonnets written by his contemporaries talk about the naivety of first-time love, like their characters are swept along by the current and the allure of being in love for the first time and feeling those sensations, the Dark Lady sonnets, on the other hand, show the other side of love, the downsides, the suffering, the guilt, the melancholy, whatever comes along with it. That's why I like these so much. They represent the duality. And the fair youth sonnets, again, they're beautiful. They portray the purity of love and all its innocence. But because of this duality, I prefer the Dark Lady sonnets. Now, who is the Dark Lady? We don't know who she is. She either has dark hair or even dark copper skin, which might suggest, she's somewhere along the Mediterranean. But Shakespeare's character loves this woman and he doesn't know why. He's madly in love with her, even though he can see the multitude and the myriad of flaws in her. His senses deceive him. He still loves her very much. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what differentiates Shakespeare with the poets that come before and after him. While most other poets would talk about the beauty of a woman, the outward appearance, the fair skin, the dark hair, the bewitching eyes, Shakespeare loves this woman for who she is and not for any of that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead with my recitation. Sonnet 141 by William Shakespeare. In faith, I do not love thee with mine eyes, for they in thee 1,000 errors note. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise, who in despite is pleased to dote. Nor are mine ears with thy tongue's tune delighted, nor tender feeling to base touches prone, nor taste, nor smell, desire to be invited. To any sensual feast, 5 wits nor my 5 senses can dissuade one foolish heart from serving thee, who leaves unswayed the likeness of a man, thy proud heart slave and vassal wretch to be. Only my plague thus far I count my gain, that she that makes me sin awards me pain. Thank you very much.
We're honored, Your Highness. I believe there was a little disturbance with your mic, but it was one of your best recitations, sir. Thank you very much. Moving on to our next poet. I'm guessing you all know the play King Lear. The play King Lear and the character in it, Cordelia. Cordelia's chief characteristics are devotion, kindness, beauty, and honesty. Now, our next poet is very much like Cordelia because she shows devotion to poetry, kindness to the words that she utters, beauty in everything she writes, and honesty in the love for poetry. Please welcome PLG's Cordelia Sherebanuji. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Likhi, for such a great introduction. And I was very excited to know what is the character you're going to bestow upon me. And as the Felsab said, I was really excited to be a part of this program. Here you all young poets, the old alike. And since yesterday I've been doing my research to learn more about, I haven't read Shakespeare much. So good evening, marhaba, assalamu alaikum, the Felsab, Simiji, and all the participants, poets. Comedies of Shakespeare are very famous, like his most popular comedies, As You Like It, Much Ado About Nothing, Midsummer Night's Dream, The Merry Wives of Windsor, Measure for Measure. So all these comedies, they are finely blended with characters, with plots, with realism, fantasy, and everything. And they all have happy endings, matrimony, celebrations, couples getting married, and it's fun to read them. And as a couple had said that he doesn't know much of Shakespeare's work, so I want to just add to it that his novels have inspired a lot of Bollywood movies, like Do Duni Char, Angur, Ulta Pulta, Punjabi film Double Ki Trouble, based on the Comedy of Errors. So, and one more, Zalim, which is Zalim Saudagar, which is inspired by Merchant of Venice. And another crime drama, Hamlet, inspired from filmmaker Vishal Bharadwaj to make an epic movie like Heather, the last one. And another political crime drama, Omkara, from the film Othello. Now, what I'm going to talk about is Vishal Bharadwaj's second Shakespearean adaptation from Makbul, which inspired me. So I'm going to talk about Macbeth, the play. Macbeth is the shortest, most popular, and fictitious tragedy performed in 606. Macbeth is the title character of the play. He's a Scottish general who fought many remarkable battles for his King Duncan. After winning one of his battles, he meets 3 witches, and they prophesy that he is going to be the next king of Scotland. Macbeth was consumed by this idea, and Lady Macbeth, who is the lead character, who's obsessed with power, entices and manipulates the general, plans the murder, and takes control of the events, and murders the bodyguards as well. Now, the love, vision, and aspirations for Lady Macbeth lead General Macbeth to kill the King of Scotland and take over the throne. A series of family killings take place, and finally, the strong-willed Lady Macbeth is the Queen of Scotland. King Macbeth still has a lot of enemies who know about his secrets and crimes and murders. One is Banquo and his accompanying fiancé. Banquo gets murdered, and fiancé flees to England. The palace then throws a party, and Macbeth suddenly sees Banquo's ghost, and he's terrified, and he discovers he has enemy Malcolm preparing a rival attack against him for his sins and evil doings. Now here in the palace, Lady Macbeth has a strange habit of sleepwalking at night and wanders the hall at night, betraying all her secrets, unable to remove the gruesome murderous act from her mind. She says in Act 5 of the play, she says while washing the imaginary bloodstains on her hands, "Here's a spot, out damp spot." The Macbeth couple, who hoped for a glory of Scotland, will go down in history as an evil couple. Finally, the rebels attack Macbeth and win the battle, and the peace reigns over England. So this is a very engrossing drama, and it shows that how ambition and obsession, especially fueled by the people who think that is a very best interest in your heart, and they lead you to becoming blind in repercussions and only think about the final end goal, which destroys everyone. So that is the price one has to pay for the power and throne. Thank you. Here I finish.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It was playing in front of us, like very descriptive, very narrative.
This is excellent, beautiful,
And
very well.
Definitely.
like we have to phrase in Shakespearean, as the little formality goes, "My lady" is what heavens sound like it. Basically meaning you sound like the heavens. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Moving on to our next poet. We've got one of the most interesting characters of the Shakespearean roles, Hermia. She's a hopeful and joyful character. She is a sweet, soft-spoken girl. She's loved by all. And here, the main point is that she has a power of winning hearts. No matter what she does, she will capture people's hearts instantly. And we have a Hermia here, our very own Hermia of PLG. Please welcome Sakina ji. Ma'am, please.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you, Likita. Thank you very much. How great this legend is. If we are still reading his piece of valuable art, a lasting legacy to mankind after 400 years. Some facts are, he made gloves for a living. He was an actor, performed many of his plays. He died on his birthday. Copyright didn't exist in Shakespeare's time. An outbreak of plague caused closure of theatres. Hence, he began to write poetry after his plays. Long time ago, females were not allowed to perform on stage. All female parts were written for boys, like the plays of Hamlet and Antony, Cleopatra. It was only much later, during the Restoration, that the first woman appeared on the English stage. Writing by candlelight didn't happen. Candles were very expensive and only used in emergencies, that too for a short time. Writers wrote in daytime and socialized in the evenings. There is no reason to think that William Shakespeare was any different from his contemporaries. I present to you Shakespeare's sonnet 116. This sonnet develops the theme of the eternity of true love through an elaborate and intricate cascade of images. Shakespeare first states that love is essentially a mental relationship. The central property of love is truth, that is, fidelity. And fidelity proceeds from and is anchored in the mind. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it's an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose words are known although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, through rosy lips and cheeks, within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice.
Very nice.
A good selection.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Is that how you make the smoothest of endings? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Rishita. Thank you so much.
Well, I don't think that is the smoothest ending, because apparently the smoothest ending is what you call when your fellow members, your friends and your brothers of the group assemble all their talents, put up a display of an assortment. I'd be pleased to welcome Mrs. Vibha Tiwari to do the honor of displaying the talent assortment, or what we call the magazine. Ma'am, please.
Disabled screen sharing आ रहा है.
Please try now.
सर ये disabled screen sharing आ गया?
Still no. So beautiful.
Wow, very nice.
Eyes है portrait से कौन who is looking out?
और जैसा आप लोग समझ गए होंगे देखकर कि कवर वाज डिजाइन्ड बाय
शालिनी जी.
तो इस बार हमारी
So complex.
कलात्मक प्रस्तुति है कवर की, वो शालिनी जी के द्वारा है, और जो कि हमारी कला प्रभारी हैं PLG की.
No other than शालिनी जी. So complex.
और उसके बाद है खूबसूरत सा रिपोर्ट अनुपम जी के द्वारा. और ये सारा काम जो है, जो भी सवारा है, सजाया है, अवधेश राणा सर जी ने सवारा है. आज मैंने बहुत लेट भेजा था, दोपहर को बल्कि शाम को भेजा था, और उन्होंने संवारा है और टेक्स्ट किया है और सारा कुछ सही किया है. और हमारी खूबसूरत पोएटिस की बहुत ही खूबसूरत कविताएं, पिछली बार ओपन था तो सबने दिल खोल के कविताएं लिखी थी, और ये मीडिया रिपोर्ट बाय मेरे बानु अकबरी जी। आगे आने वाले कार्यक्रमों की रूपरेखा, अगले हफ्ते हम रीजनल प्रोग्राम होगा हमारा, और इसके साथ ही अब हमारी मुख्य अतिथि तो किसी कारण से प्रोग्राम में नहीं है, तो आज हम ये मैगजीन अपने, मैं समझती हूँ कि कपिल नायर सर को समर्पित करते हैं, जो कि एक हिम्मत दे रहे हैं और
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जी आपका, बहुत शुक्रिया।
ऐसी परिस्थितियों में हमारा हिम्मत बढ़ा रहे हैं, और हमें इतनी अच्छी कविता उन्होंने सुनाई, और वो भी हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करके पूरी क्षमता का अपने उपयोग करके। तो यह मैगजीन आपके लिए कपिल नायर सर।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका इतने आभार के लिए
जी। आप इसका लोकार्पण करें कपिल जी।
हाँ जी,
इस मैगजीन का लोकार्पण आज कर रहे हैं, जिस स्पिरिट के साथ आप इस प्रोग्राम में शामिल हुए हैं। मेरे ख्याल से जो अभी विभा जी जो बात कह रही हैं कि ये आज आपका हक बनता है कि आप इसका लोकार्पण करें अपने कलमों से।
क्या करना है सर, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा, इतनी अच्छी
बस आप
हिंदी
बोल
उर्दू
दीजिए
नहीं
कि
है।
ये मैगजीन हम डेडिकेट करते हैं
हम आपको
श्रोताओं के नाम
बहुत
और
बहुत शुक्रिया,
पाठकों के नाम। जी,
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका।
बहुत धन्यवाद।
मैं इतने ऑनर के लायक नहीं हूँ, और भी आप दे रहे हैं, मैं बहुत खुश हूँ ये देख के। मेरे को इतने टाइम बाद मैं आ रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, मेरा परिवार मेरे को फिर भी याद रखता है, मेरे को और इससे अच्छा क्या चाहिए बताइए।
बहुत मिस कर रहे थे सर, हमें नहीं पता था कि आपकी तबीयत ठीक नहीं है।
अरे विभा जी, आपको विश्वास नहीं होगा, ये सुफेल भाई और मैंने मिलके सोचा था कि चलिए मिलके अभी ना कुछ ऑनलाइन करते हैं, क्योंकि ऑफलाइन तो हो नहीं पाएगा। तो हम सोच रहे थे इंस्टाग्राम लाइव जाते हैं। इंस्टाग्राम लाइव ना उनको जाना आता था, मुझे जाना आता था, तो हमने आइडिया ड्रॉप किया और जूम पे शुरू किया। जूम पे पहला प्रोग्राम हुआ, उसके बाद में दूसरे तीसरे प्रोग्राम साहिबजादे उन्होंने फेसबुक लाइव सिखा दिया। इस तरह से हमारी शुरुआत हुई थी। जी तुफेल भाई, याद होगा आपको?
जी 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 जी, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। हम लोग टेस्ट कर रहे थे पहले इंस्टाग्राम लाइव करने की, मैं और कपिल जी 1 to 1 कर रहे थे, मैं इधर से और वो उधर से, लेकिन वो हो नहीं पा रहा था।
कुछ नहीं हो रहा था हमसे अभी भी।
बोल रहे थे कि तुम चेक करो, मैंने कहा माय गॉड मेरे दिमाग में।
चलिए अच्छा है, जैसा भी हुआ आपने इस लेगेसी को इतनी दूर तक पहुंचा दिया है कि दुनिया इसे देख रही है। पीएलजी अब लोकल नहीं, पीएलजी ग्लोबल हो चुका है। सर मेरे से खुश इस बात के लिए कोई इंसान नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि आपको पता है मेरा विजन क्या था।
जी 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 जी, बिल्कुल
वो विजन जो है हमारा ऑफलाइन में मर सा गया है, ऑनलाइन में मतलब, लेकिन आपने उसको जिंदा रखा ऑनलाइन में। ये बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूं मैं आपका इसके लिए।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Over to you, sir.
And thank you so very much, sir and ma'am. With that, I, Likhita Kauru, will take the privilege to put down the curtains and end today's Celebrating the Legend featuring William Shakespeare. At your service, Likhita Kauru.
Wow.
Over to Tufel, sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Thank
Nikita.
you so very much.
You really took this program to a different horizon with your innovative comparing, and especially those characters which you created that feel life in this program. And
Thank you,
believe
sir.
me,
Thank you.
at every character, I was trying to guess who is the person. Right. And after every character, I was wondering which character you will bring next. So that really created an aura in this program. This was wonderful program, and all the poets were excellent in their selection and recitation.
सर एक मिनट समी जी, आपको तो सुना ही नहीं हमने।
नहीं, मैं आज पार्टिसिपेट नहीं की थी।
अरे काहे नहीं कर रही, हमने सुना है आपको।
जी
मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम।
जी जी जी, वो हमारी रोटेशन की जो पॉलिसी है, खासतौर से जो मिडिल ईस्ट में हमने इम्प्लीमेंट की है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे पोएट हैं, तो हमने वो रोटेशन पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंट की है कि इस वीक में जो पढ़ेगा वो नेक्स्ट वीक नहीं पढ़ता है। तो जैसे लास्ट वीक मैंने नहीं पढ़ा था, तो इस वीक मेरा चांस था।
तो 2 लाइनें सुना दीजिए स्पेशल इफेक्ट्स के लिए, स्पेशल गेस्ट 2 लाइनें सुना दीजिए कुछ भी।
नेक्स्ट टाइम मैं पक्का सुनाती हूँ आपको।
किसी गाने का मुखड़ा सुना दीजिए।
आपके लिए स्पेशल लिखूं।
प्लीज प्लीज
Well, now that Kapil sir has mentioned about Simmi auntie, I would like to compare her as well to another character. I don't know if you've heard of Beatrice. She has a quality. If she is speaking something, her eyes speak 2 times more than what she is speaking. I would like to compare Beatrice to
Oh,
Simmi auntie.
so nice.
If at all she's reciting now, this is dedicated to her. Ma'am, please.
Okay, give her a minute.
Take your time, please. Take your time. We are waiting.
Herself is a sonnet.
आज का प्रोग्राम जल्दी खत्म हो रहा है, इसलिए हमारे पास बहुत टाइम है सुनने को.
बहुत टाइम है और अभी घर में जाके ग्रीजी जॉन डॉट का पॉट भी करना है.
अरे आप खाना तो तैयार करके बैठे हैं विभा जी, क्या टेंशन है आपको?
नहीं, खाना मुझे तैयार ही नहीं करना है.
अच्छा,
वीकेंड को आपको किसने बोला वीकेंड पर डिनर नहीं
आज
बनाती?
विभा जी खाना नहीं बनाती हैं, आज इनको खाना बन के मिलता है.
हमारा तो उल्टा सीन हो रखा है. हमारा पिछले कितने महीनों से बाहर का खाना बंद है.
विभा जी आप
हमारी जो मैडम
कर रही हैं, अब किचन में खाना बन रहा.
हमारा जो मैडम है उन्होंने बोल दिया बाहर का खाना बंद है आपके लिए. वजन कम कीजिए थोड़ा.
तो विभा जी
वही
तो
चल रहा है.
स्वदेशी है ना, तो बाहर का खाना बहुत कम खाना पसंद करती हैं. घर ही का खाना उनको अच्छा लगता है.
बिल्कुल जनाब, सही कहा आपने.
बस बिस्कुट मिल जाए पटना का तो ठीक है, चाय बिस्कुट खा लेते हैं.
हाँ बस.
चाय बिस्कुट है मेरे पास, बोलिए मैं लेके आता हूँ. मैं लेके आता हूँ बिस्कुट आपके लिए.
आप ठीक हो जाइए फिर हम लोग आते हैं.
हाँ बिल्कुल, आप बिस्कुट की याद दिला दीजिए कि मेरा मन कर गया. थोड़ी मेरे हाथ में ज्यादा, बाद में उठाऊंगा.
कपिल भाई के हाथ
आप आराम से बैठिए, आप इतना परेशान नहीं होइए.
में आपके अभी तक वो सलाइन लगता लगा हुआ है.
नहीं सर, वो तो लगा ही रहेगा, लेकिन अभी कनेक्टेड नहीं है. वो तो जब तक हूँ यहाँ पे तब तक लगा ही रहेगा. अभी वैसे दूर है, ये दूर है. अभी जितना निकालना लगा दिया इन्होंने.
And while Simmi auntie is looking for her poem, I would like to tell you all something. I have, with the grace of God, I have finished my 12th and will be moving to India. And from now on, all the PLG meets, I will be attending them from India. I might need all your support and blessings, please.
Hope Likhita, you will be in constant touch with us.
Thank you, sir.
In the
Definitely,
same energy
sir.
and enthusiasm. You are a part of our PLG, and you will give the way you give the service to.
I am blessed, sir. Thank you so very much. Thank you, sir.
You will do very well.
All the best in the future. In a
Thank you, sir.
very
Thank you very much.
near future, we hope that we would like to see you on a very big position.
Thank you, sir. Definitely. Sir. It's all your support and blessings, sir. Thank you.
All the best. All the best.
So hopefully you are preparing for civil service examination.
Sir, I might be, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, that's होनहार बिरवा के चिकने पात सुना ना. That
I might not be focusing on civils very much, sir, but I am interested on linguistics. I would like to major in that.
That's more fitting. Can we keep the talk after we put the
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir.
Ready with the poem?
Thank you so much, Likhita, and thank you so much, Kapil ji.
मैडम जी, आपका इंतजार हमेशा रहता है.
So my poem is Blow, blow, thou winter wind, blow, blow, thou winter wind. Thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Thy tooth is not so keen, because thou art not seen, although thy breath be rude. Hi ho, sing hi ho unto the green holly. Most friendship is penning, most loving mere folly. In hi ho the holly, this life is most jolly. Freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky that does not bite so nigh. As benefits for good, thou the waters ward. Thy sitting is not so sharp as friend remember not. Hi ho, sing. Thank you so much.
Below thou winter
wind.
बहुत
Thank you
जबरदस्त,
so
बहुत
much.
जबरदस्त. बहुत ही जबरदस्त.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, or
And
you
like
were a
I've
summer
compared,
intake.
she's definitely the Beatrice of PLG.
Yeah, spring, the autumn, she's all the seasons.
Definitely,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Vivaji, now your turn.
मेरी मेहनत ये सुना दी है मैंने इसको अच्छे अच्छे शब्द ढूंढ के दिए थे तो मेरा हो चुका है इनके साथ ही अब अगले हफ्ते
Right. So with that, we close this program. But before we close this program, we must say some word of gratitude. And the first and foremost goes to Likhita, who has done a wonderful anchoring today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
We thank Anupam ji and Sher Banu ji and Kapil Batra ji for bringing media reports every week. Now that has become a thing of waiting for everybody because that goes in our website, and when you open the website and you read that report, the whole program is embedded into the report. So that report becomes the the face of the website, and it's really worth reading. You read it and you relive the program. Thanks for the editorial board, headed by Avdesh ji and supported by Vivaji, Simmi, and Purnima ma'am, Dr. Shalini ji, for bringing the magazine every week. Thanks are due to Khalid ji for making such a beautiful website, and thanks to Likhita and Shaz ji for supporting that. Thanks to Ajay ji for bringing the weekly video program. Thanks to Manova bhai for the most awaited certificate. I think all of us love that. Thanks to all others who have contributed for bringing this program live. And last but not least, our audience on the Facebook, who have been our strength and who has been a motivation for all of us. You see in such a large number, and that motivates us to write more and more, to bring more and more program of better quality. Our last program had also exceeded 1,000 views, which is a big number. Let me tell you, which is a very big number for a pure poetry program. And I cannot tell about all, but at least I'm not a celebrity. And then also, if it crosses, I am able to be seen by 1,000 people in a week on a weekly basis. That's something really augurs well for me. So with that, thank you all the poets over here who participated in today's program and brought this program to reality, and all the people who are there on the Zoom also, who are not participating, but you have joined. That shows your love for poetry and literature. Especially, I saw Anupam Ramesh Kingarji here some time back. She is, I think, still there, very much there. So that shows how much you care for PLG and for the program of the literary nature. Thanks, everybody. With that, signing off.
Bye-bye. We are delighted and blessed and happy to see Sherbanoji once again after so long. And I can realize she is very happy and healthy, mashallah.
Thank you.
God bless you, Sherbanoji.
Thank
We
you,
are
thank
very
you.
happy to see you once again after so long.